Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. Welcome back, everybody, to You Know.
This is that show.
I'm Bishop.
I'm Rooster.
The days of old.
We miss them so.
The holidays, man.
Dude, it's so hectic. It makes you not want to enjoy it with the amount of crap that's being shoved down your throat for advertising. And it's like as soon as Halloween passes, the next day is Christmas. Like, you start seeing the commercials, you start hearing it all over the radio.
You see reindeer in people's yards. Like, wait a minute. It's not even Thanksgiving.
Right?
And you've got Christmas shit in your yard.
Yep.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Seriously, my mom is the worst about that. Literally, the day after Thanksgiving, she wakes me up in the morning and be like, "Would you put up the Christmas lights, please?" Yes. So now all of our neighbors, nobody has Christmas lights up, but our white strand lights are blinding everyone 24 hours of the night.
It's just so commercial. It is just... So not go back to other episodes. We buy everything.
Yes, exactly.
And if it's kind of like a bunch of fish in a pond that have only had like a certain type of food for a certain period of time, and then something new is introduced because they happen to put it out, and you're like, I gotta eat it all!
Oh my God.
I gotta eat it all! Jesus Christ! I mean, literally, it's Halloween, they have Christmas shit out. It's not even Thanksgiving.
Right.
And people are literally buying Christmas trees. It's not even Halloween.
So you feel like it didn't used to be as commercialized when you were a kid?
No, because oh man, I mean, God. We still had order catalogs. You could actually handwrite it down, write a check.
I was going to
send it away.
I learned about the Sears catalog in history.
Sears Roebuck, buddy. Get it right. Montgomery Ward's. What are you talking about?
Montgomery Ward's?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another catalog?
Service merchandise. What do you know about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I'm a child. I'm just used to it, though. I feel like my entire life, holidays have been commercialized and shoved down our throats, and they're just trying to squeeze every penny out of people that they can.
When you're watching TV, between watching ad campaigns, drug interactions for the newest drug that's on the market, and the holiday sales that are happening, you literally don't know what fucking day it is, what time of the year it is, where you're at, and what's happening, because you've already had 3 designer drugs and you're having interaction and you just think, it's Christmas already and I gotta buy everything.
Right.
I'm gonna lose out. No. That's
what always blows my mind about Black Friday, and how people will go and wait for 8 hours beforehand to stand in line to be the first in to get a TV for, 30% off or something. I'm just the type of person who would rather go on a regular day, not deal with any of that bullshit, and pay the more price.
Yeah, I would be right there with you on certain things, but there are certain things that in a price point situation, you hope that the item that you're looking for might actually be on sale.
Yeah.
But you got to remember from a previous episode, I got to buy 3 of them.
Yes.
Because the first one's going to break, the second one I'm going to make work, and the third one I'm going to forget about for 5 fucking years. Because we are a nation of consumers.
Exactly.
We have to have. It's like, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up where we appreciate, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, to me, is probably my favorite holiday. Because it's a time for family, it's a time for everybody to get together, or a time for reflection, right? And you just sit down, you enjoy good food,
right?
You tell crazy stories.
Seriously.
I don't watch football anymore, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Might watch some other TV shows, but that's the way I grew up. Christmas was Christmas was, yes, you know, you want to pick out one or two gifts, or hopefully a relative would buy you something nice. It was always about maybe, you know, a couple new sets of clothes and good food and just enjoying it. Nowadays, it is just all about how much shit can I pack in my room and never touch it again.
Right? How much do you love me? You better show me with the present that you buy me.
Xbox! I need Xbox! PlayStation!
It's funny because when I was a kid, growing up, you get socks and shirts for Christmas, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want socks and shit. But now I get a fresh pair of socks for Christmas, a whole set of socks, and I lose my shit. I'm like, this is going to be like 2 months worth of socks, of brand new socks.
Yep, before you have to do laundry again.
Right? Seriously, I love getting shirts and stuff, that type of stuff now, but I always used to be bummed out. We grew up where my parents wanted to give us everything, even when we were like on the broker side when we were younger, but they always made an effort to get us, you know, anything that we wanted. So we kind of had a different experience in that regard, because if I wanted something, then I got it for Christmas. And it was like, you know, the big blow up of the whole year that you got to enjoy, rather than like truly focusing on what matters, which is like your family and getting to enjoy that time with them and good food. And
Yep. I mean, I can remember asking for several things growing up, and the easiest way to get those, having multiple siblings, was if it benefited everyone.
Oh yeah,
right.
You had to convince your mom that it was a group effort.
Now, I can tell you, one of the greatest gifts I ever got was when I was 15, and you know, you play guitar, and this guy actually rips. So.
Dude, I fucking love guitar.
But I got a Gibson when I was 15, and that was a culmination of a couple of my aunts and uncles putting together, and they got me a Gibson guitar.
Wow.
Which was cool.
So you were like a musician before that, or what motivated them to do this?
I was, and I played acoustic for about a year, and I wanted electric, and I didn't want something just shitty.
Yeah, just like $100 Target guitar.
So, yeah, that was a really cool gift. Problem was, I lost interest in guitar about a year after that.
Yeah.
So, that happened.
But that's the greatest thing about it, especially in my experience, and always being given things that I asked for, is I got to experience so much stuff that I got to figure out what I truly liked and what was, like, you know, my thing. And I thought tons of things were my things, you know, like dirt biking and all kinds of stuff. Got bought a new dirt bike, got bought a freaking, you know, different kinds of puzzles, or all kinds of different hobbies, and eventually you fall out of them. But being able to be exposed to all that stuff helps you narrow down who you are as a person, you know?
Yeah, and in some regards, I mean, your parents lived the old motto of spoil the shit out of my children and give them everything we didn't have.
Exactly.
And in some regards, I do that as much as I can with my own family, and but that's not always the case. But the one thing that everybody knows me for is, if you want to eat like a king,
oh yeah,
you come to my house.
Seriously. For real.
My house. So yeah, the big request this year is a double prime rib roast. So I mean,
double? What is a double? So two of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I normally make, you know, like a 10-pound roast.
Okay.
And that's not small.
Yeah.
That's not small. You ever held a 5-pound bag of flour? That's 2 of those. That's 1.
For real though.
These kids will go through that like they're critters. Like they will just eat them. Just yeah. I will find, you know, the boys up in the middle of the night, literally eating cold prime rib off the bone. Just,
That's something cool that I think that you did with your kids that I didn't necessarily get to experience, was the exposure to so many different types of food. When you're telling me about all the things that you've brought home for your kids to eat and the different things they've gotten to try, and I used to be very like experimental as a kid, and in San Francisco I remember picking up like a dead octopus or a little tiny baby octopus and plopping it in my mouth and eating it because my dad wanted me to, and it was disgusting. It was freaking gross. But I would have liked to have been exposed to a lot of the things you're exposing your kids to, like like when you're talking about elk meat and different parts of animals that most people don't usually eat. And,
I mean. There's a lot of things that you can do, and they're old school, days of old. I mean, they're old school. Days of old. But you just have to know how to prepare different things, and it's trial and error. There's a lot of things that I've made over the years that worked out great.
Didn't go so well?
No,
really?
So I had to improve on it.
I honestly can't imagine that with you being the expert cook that you are.
Well, you can screw some things up pretty easy. Let me tell you, leftovers is a bitch.
Yeah.
So, because I'm not letting it go to waste.
Right.
But those are just the things that my family has become accustomed to. Hold on.
Oh, beer. In case you didn't know.
Appreciating the family time, appreciating the moment, and we live in a society, we live in a country where they're considered holidays and national holidays, and so you get to have that, and you get to kind of concentrate without masks on. But and then you get to kind of reflect and talk about things that have happened over the year and things that you expect to happen coming up, and where especially with children, you get to explore their minds a little bit because everything's basically stopped, and you can actually say, where are you wanting to go? What do you want to do? What's happening? Mm-hmm. And that's the things that I enjoy. I don't really give a shit about what wrapping paper is on a present and how many damn gifts are underneath that tree.
Right.
I'm a stockings guy. I like the little knickknacks and the candies and things that you find in stockings.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I can't hang them around fireplaces.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, everything's fucking processed chocolate, so
that's burning shit down.
Yeah, that's gonna turn into a fucking soup.
Right. For real. Yeah, that's definitely something. Being a child who's always been given whatever I want. Mm-hmm. That's something that has taken me a lot of time. It's surprising to me that I haven't turned out to be more fucked up because if I wanted something, I got it. But now I'm at the point where it's like I realize the privilege that it is to have the family that I have and the ability for them to provide for me the things that I want, So it's like I've almost gravitated to the point where it's like I don't give a shit about the presents. Like it's literally all about the happiness that I get from being around the people that I care about.
Right.
Which, like I said, surprises me that I turned out that way, where the presents aren't my main priority. When I grew up in an environment where my parents wanted to give me everything that I could possibly want.
Well, it sounds like you turned, you personally have turned the perspective around a bit and understand that that's not always about the gift, it's about the moment.
Exactly. Sitting with your family in the living room by a roasting fire and watching some good football, or it's like those moments.
Playing a board game.
Yeah, exactly. Playing just true intimate moments.
Right.
Are what really actually bring you happiness in life, not the things that you get.
Life lesson.
Life lesson.
Let us know what your family traditions are, what you do on the holidays. Leave those comments down below. Share, and subscribe. And
follow us on Rumble.
Do it. Rumble.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Christmas this year.
Oh, yeah.
In our area, it looks like it's gonna be kind of warm this year.
I know. Has it snowed even at all yet?
It snowed like, one day.
Maybe a little bit. Day. I was reading this report the other day that it was like, Denver hasn't had any measurable snow for like 230 days or something. I was like,
yeah, they're getting ready.
Jesus Christ.
They're getting ready to break a record.
Global warming.
Yeah.
Something is happening.
I don't know. Fart machines are on overdrive. I don't know.
All right, folks. We appreciate you guys watching. Have a great Christmas. Let us know if you got any cool Christmas stories or anything in the comments. We want to hear them.
Yep. We look forward to it. But unless the next round's on you,
we gotta go.
We gotta go. Cheers.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.